only for Scarlet, by the way.
Right. Purely on DPS, the meta sensory, I still look at it. It gives +1 to all skills, which is obviously good, but then it just has attack speed and damage. But have you any idea why it's so strong? Because every build says,
Every build has at least the advanced meta. Yeah, the
yeah.
reason it's so strong is because of the +1 to all powers.
Hmm.
Since the new power scaling in the DPS patch, +1 to all powers equals about 200 damage rating.
Is that
So
depending on your weapon as well, or is that independent? Is it depending on your level?
it's yeah, it is dependent on your level. I'm assuming level 60 here, of course.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is kind of dependent on your level. But +1 to all powers basically it just gives 5% base damage increase on all your skills.
Hmm.
Like +1 and 1 extra power gives a 5% base damage increase on that skill.
All right.
So +1 to all powers gives you 5% base damage on all skills it affects, and that's why it's so good.
All right. There we
And
go.
that on top of the 325 damage rating on advanced meta
Yeah.
control. So that's 500 damage rating right there.
All right.
At least 500.
Hmm. Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see it now. Hand of Doom, you say it's better than Gem of the Cursed for her?
No, I'd swap out my normal meta for a Gem of the Cursed.
If you find one.
Yeah, if I'd find one, I'd swap it out for a normal meta.
Right, and this is all purely based on just pure DPS calculating, right?
Yeah,
You don't
pure
really take.
DPS.
All right. So then it's the Hand of Doom. And what's the fourth one that you say?
The Mental Focus headband. It's
All
the
right.
new one from ODOC.
What are the stats on that again?
It can roll, I've seen as high as 616 mental damage rating.
Oh wow.
It has 60 spirit regeneration per minute, so that's an extra spirit per second.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of radius to area powers, I've seen about 8%, as high as 8%, and it has a useless proc.
Useless proc.
Yeah, it procs once every minute for 2 to 3,000 damage. It's useless. But
Alright.
you use it for the mental damage rating and area radius, as Scarlet.
Wow. I have to farm on it. It sounds amazing.
I found 6 in total.
Yeah, but how many hours have you been grinding, sir? If I may
No,
ask.
no, the drop rate has been significantly decreased ever since they added the level bands to terminals.
Decreased.
Yeah, decreased. When I was farming for a Cosmic Wizard, I found 6 mental
Mm-hmm.
focus headbands. It took me that long to get a Cosmic Wizard.
Right. So and now the mental headband is like also almost as low as that.
What do you mean as low?
The drop rate.
Oh yeah, the drop rate's about. I think it's twice as much as the Hand of Doom, mental focus headband,
All right.
which is 1 in 50, which is 2%. So it's not that crazy. You don't find a lot of them.
No. All right. So if you find one, hang on to them.
Yeah,
Don't fandom them.
they go for a lot in trading. So
All right. For people who are unaware, there are certain artifacts in the game you can only find from specific bosses. It's the mental headband from MODOK. It is the Hand of Doom from Doctor Doom, and the most sought after, I think, at the moment, the Gem of the Curse that drops from Curse.
yeah, it's definitely the most sought after.
Yeah. So
I,
they all
I've
drop on greens, apart from the Hand of Doom. Only drops on red and cosmics, right?
They changed that actually. They only drop from reds and cosmics.
All right. There
But
we go.
yeah, I've seen a Gem of the Cursed go for 10 blessings and 2 Hand of Dooms. So I'm just saying that they're rare.
Yeah. All right. Scary. So if you have time, you could do that and get some trading value going.
Yeah.
So that those I think pretty much cover the artifacts. The metal, which one?
The wizard, hands down.
Because of the mental damage.
And the range damage. The only skill the range damage doesn't influence on Scarlet is Chaos Shift,
Mm-hmm.
which is her teleport. you don't use that for damage anyway.
No.
So, and the max roll on both rolls on the wizard is 529. So you can roll 1058 damage rating for Scarlet
Wow.
on just a medallion.
That's quite huge.
Yeah.
Wow. I want one that high. Yeah, the problem, artifacts you can re-roll theoretically. You can
Yeah.
re-roll, but you have a chance to get a higher roll if you just at the vendor. Of course, medals you just have to farm yourself. Then again, you're gonna run out of credits though.
It took me 3 cosmic medallion, wizard medallion drops to get a decent one. I now have a 485, 460. So it's not perfect, but it works.
Yeah. Would you say if you have a 500, like an almost maxed roll on a non-cosmic, would the cosmic still be better, right?
I have purple 529, 525. That's
Yeah.
4 damage off perfect. And the one I just mentioned, the 485, 460 cosmic, was a DPS upgrade. So,
Alright. Alright, I get it. Toshi asks, where is the wizard again? The wizard is the best way to find her in the Modok terminal, the AIM terminal, and it's the second boss in there.
yeah.
Alright. So yeah, Modok on, is it also good on other heroes?
Emma. Loki could work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Emma's most definitely, and probably Doctor Strange too.
Yeah. All of his damage was confirmed mental.
Yeah, and
So-
he'll probably be ranged as well, so the wizard will be an amazing medallion for him.
Alright. A wizard medallion for a sorcerer. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, but also the wizard on a wizard medallion on a witch. So
quite quite fun how that works out. All
Yeah.
right. So let's go to the next Rose. What relic do you use on her?
I actually use Snake Root, the movement speed one.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, the damage relics don't add enough damage to justify using them.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit one, well, Scarlet doesn't have spirit issues with me. The other useful one would be Lemuria, if she didn't have Ravenous Binding. I think Lemuria is the biggest waste to put on Scarlet. So I decided to go, since she's so slow, to use Snake Root.
You said slow, but she also has a teleport. But
But the teleport has a 1 second cooldown. It's nice to be able to move a bit faster for the second it's on cooldown.
yeah, because what movement speed do you get from the relic?
I have a stack of 650 now,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives about 26% movement speed.
All right, that's
So
pretty huge.
it's kind of a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking before that it could always be a good relic. You're actually the first one mentioning it in a build that it's good. People always look at DPS numbers, but I think how much do you get from your range? It's like 100 something.
Yeah,
Save stack.
the Xandar caps out at 176 damage rating at 1000 relics.
Yeah.
So that's horrible. Like the numbers on the relics need to be looked at again since the DPS patch.
Yeah.
They haven't done that. So the damage rating on the relics barely gets over 300 even on Wakanda, the dot one. So it's, in my opinion, not worth using a damage one.
Where you can get other utility out of it.
Yeah.
Thought one more thing. Yeah, you said the item they're gonna look at the relics. They are currently in a huge item revamp to look at all the stats, look at all the items. They hopefully look at all the artifacts and relics like that as well.
Yeah.
Luckily they're known to address each issue eventually. So let's hope they're gonna do that. So
Yeah, I agree.
let's go to the other side of the character. I have to imagine it in my head because I currently don't have anything like to relate to. But the Euroforge item.
Yeah.
Which one do you go for?
The Euroforged Warhelm, of course.
Mhm.
The mental damage one.
Yeah.
It's the best one, and if you don't have it, War Ballista also works.
Mhm.
But I just prefer mental damage.
And you get which word do you want to put on it?
It depends. There's 2 options. Well, 3 actually. The first option being River of the Soul, which is basically the best spirit regen tool you can get in the game right now. So if you have spirit issues, go for River of the Soul. It's a cheap rune word, and it helps immensely.
Yeah.
The best damage option for Scarlet isn't the Frost Giant one, it's the
Not?
Boazon.
Boazon, is that really?
Yeah, the Boazon is a better damage option.
Could you do you know at top of your head what it does again?
It's 300 range damage rating, 300 crit rating, and on crit 600 brutal strike rating.
All right.
And it has a proc for physical damage, which I ignore. But yeah, it's a lot of damage.
If you compare it to the Frost Giant one, which is a mental damage one.
Yeah, it's the Frost Giant one has 400 mental damage rating, 40 spirit, and 4 power duration, and the proc which gives you plus 4 to all powers for 10 seconds every minute.
All right.
The Frost Giant one is superior under the proc, but since it has a 50-second downtime, the DPS increase of the Boazon is actually more. Since
if you see it per minute.
Yeah, like if the proc on the brutal strike rating on the Boazon doesn't have a cooldown. So when you crit, which is I have about 35%, it's all the time. So the brutal strike rating is up all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have a Hela blessing, not a single one, and I have 22% brutal strike chance.
All right.
On Scarlet. So it's a really good rune word, the Boazon. It's for most ranged characters, it's the best one you can get.
All right. I have not yet seen someone grow as a Frost Giant. Is it just the character that you see grow, or?
Yeah, it's just a character that grows about triple the size of a visual increase, like triple the effect of a visual increase. Of size increase visual, like triple that effect. That's about how the proc works.
So you look like twice the normal size.
Yeah.
All right, I haven't seen that yet. Someone said he saw a huge Hawkeye, and I was like, did he get the Frost Giant enchant? But I'm not sure.
No, but anyways, take it from me, the visual's not that great to look at.
It's not like you really become as big as the low-key Frost Giant.
No, it's not that big.
No, I'm still gonna try it one day, but I was hoping it would look like that. Alright, yeah, we forgot the blessings. It's cool that you mentioned it. I totally forgot the blessings. Which one do you put on your artifacts?
I have 4 Odin blessings at the moment. It's not the best for damage, but it's the best combination between damage and spirit management.
Alright, so that's why you say you don't really have spirit issues on her, because
yeah,
you do that.
I have let me think, 33 spirit on kill. So if I kill one enemy with my Chaos Warp, I have my spirit back.
And you kill a little bit more than one, I think.
Yeah, and in one Chaos Warp channel, everything dies.
That's awesome. Alright. Even bosses, or how does that work?
Bosses, T4 Reds, are one cycle. Which I guess I'll go over later with the skills.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Alright, so let's go further. The legendary item, which one?
I have the Warlock's Eye. It's not the best DPS option for me, actually. It's that would be the Gungnir.
Alright.
But then again, the Gungnir is best in slot for every hero right now, so...
It is.
But yeah, when I got the Warlock's Eye was best in slot. And I don't feel like leveling another legendary. Also, the devs mentioned they're either going to pull up the specific damage legendaries to be on par with the Gungnir, or they're going to pull the Gungnir down a bit. So I see no point in switching out now.
Yeah.
And I still recommend the Warlock's Eye to any new Scarlet player.
Yeah, you would. Oh, anyway, either way.
Yeah.
All right. The ring on the other side.
Yeah, Cosmic Ring, obviously. You'll want a Cosmic Ring with, well, if you want the most damage, range damage rating, area damage rating, critical rating, and critical damage rating, which would be a perfect ring. I myself have range damage rating, area damage rating, brutal strike rating, and brutal strike damage, but it'll work.
All right. Is So critical damage and critical rating beats. Oh no, that comes with the costumes. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused. But critical